China's military purge, what Xi Jinping isn't telling the world.
Welcome. We dive into the most dramatic military shakeup China has seen in decades. President Xi Jinping has launched a sweeping purge across the People's Liberation Army, removing top generals, dismantling command structures, and triggering global concern about China's stability and strategic intentions. From allegations of espionage to internal dissent, to the unprecedented removal of General Zhang Youxia, Xi's closest military ally, this is a story reshaping China's future and the balance of power in Asia. Stay with us as we break down what's happening, why it matters, and what the world needs to prepare for next.
Welcome. On January 24th, China's Ministry of Defense confirmed what analysts had suspected for weeks. General Zhang Youxia, the highest-ranking uniformed officer in China and vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, is under investigation for serious violations of party discipline and law. Alongside him, General Liu Zhenli, chief of the Joint Staff Department, has also been removed and placed under investigation. This is not a routine reshuffling. This is the largest purge of China's military leadership since the Tiananmen era. Experts warn that the purge has gutted the PLA's command structure, leaving only one senior officer untouched. To understand the magnitude of this, imagine the U.S. removing the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the vice chairman, and the heads of strategic command, all at once. That's the scale of what Xi Jinping has just done. Officially, Beijing frames this as an anti-corruption campaign, but analysts say the truth runs deeper. According to the Asia Society and multiple Western intelligence assessments, Xi's purge reflects loyalty concerns, command cohesion issues, internal resistance to Xi's directives, potential leaks of classified information. One Western report even alleges that General Zhang Youxia may have leaked nuclear secrets to the United States, an accusation Beijing has not denied. If true, this would be the most severe breach in PLA history. Xi Jinping has long insisted on absolute party control over the military, but the scale of this purge suggests something more alarming. Xi may no longer trust his own generals. Foreign Affairs reports that Xi has ordered the total annihilation of his high command. This is not the language of routine discipline. This is the language of political survival. The secret crisis inside the rocket force. The PLA rocket force, China's nuclear and missile arm, has been under quiet investigation for months. While not officially announced, insiders report that additional rocket force officers have been removed or reassigned, continuing a purge that began in 2024. Inference based on patterns from multiple sources. This matters because the rocket force controls China's nuclear deterrent, hypersonic missile programs, Taiwan invasion strike plans, anti-ship ballistic missiles targeting U.S. carriers. If the rocket force is compromised, China's entire strategic posture is compromised. Experts warn that the purge has caused temporary paralysis in certain command and control systems, delaying strategic planning. Inference based on expert commentary from multiple sources. This could affect everything from nuclear readiness to timelines for a potential invasion of Taiwan. Internal dissent and espionage fears. One of the most alarming elements of this purge is the growing evidence of internal dissent within the PLA. Fox News Digital reports that the removal of top commanders has left Beijing unstable and increased the risk of miscalculation across the region. Analysts say the lack of transparency makes it difficult to know the full extent of the crisis, but the scope of the purge points to mounting instability under Xi Jinping. Espionage allegations, especially involving nuclear secrets, suggest that Xi's inner circle may have been compromised. If senior generals were leaking information, it means Xi's loyalty vetting system failed. Factionalism within the PLA runs deeper than previously believed. China's nuclear program may have been penetrated. This is the nightmare scenario for any authoritarian leader. How this affects Taiwan and the region. The purge has immediate implications for Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific. According to Asia Society and the Cipher Brief, Xi's campaign has gutted the PLA's command structure, potentially delaying or complicating any invasion plans. But there's a dangerous flip side. A weakened, paranoid leadership can also become more unpredictable. Experts warn that instability inside the PLA increases the risk of miscalculation in the Taiwan Strait, accidental escalation with U.S. forces, overreaction to perceived threats, risky behavior by inexperienced replacement commanders. Taiwan's defense ministry is closely monitoring the situation, aware that chaos inside the PLA can be just as dangerous as strength. What this means for Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping has spent a decade consolidating power, but this purge reveals a startling truth. Even after all his efforts, Xi still fears disloyalty within the military. The purge strengthens Xi's personal control in the long term, but at the cost of short-term instability. Analysts say Xi is entering a new phase of governance. More centralized, more paranoid, more dependent on political loyalty over competence, more willing to dismantle institutions to maintain control. This is not a sign of confidence. It is a sign of vulnerability. What happens next? The world is watching closely. Here's what to expect in the coming months. 1. More arrests and investigations. The purge is not over. Xi's pattern suggests more generals will fall. 2. Slower military modernization. Disruptions in leadership will delay key programs, including hypersonics and naval expansion. 3. Increased ideological indoctrination. Expect more political loyalty training and internal surveillance within the PLA. 4. Heightened regional tensions. Instability increases the risk of miscalculation, especially in the Taiwan Strait. 5. A more isolated Xi Jinping. The more Xi purges, the fewer trusted advisors he has left. China's military purge is more than a political story. It is a window into the internal struggles of a rising superpower, one grappling with loyalty, secrecy, and the immense pressure of global ambition. As Xi Jinping tightens his grip, the world must prepare for a China that is both more centralized and more unstable. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay aware, and subscribe for more in-depth global analysis. China is undergoing one of the most dramatic military shakeups in its modern history. President Xi Jinping has intensified sweeping anti-corruption probes inside the People's Liberation Army, removing some of the country's most senior commanders and triggering questions about the stability and readiness of the world's largest standing army.